Welcome back to Life According to Richard and Sam. I'm Richard.
And I'm Sam.
And today we're going to dive right into r/shower thoughts.
I think this is going to be pretty interesting. Just like the whole concept of shower thoughts is one of my favorite things. And just a quick precursor search. Some of these are very interesting. So I'll let you pick one that you want to start with.
Okay. My pick that I want to talk about, this is so true and nobody realizes it, but in cartoon universes, race cars have an extra gear that only becomes available when the driver becomes more determined.
Yeah, I was looking at that one too. And just like thinking about it, it's wild.
It's so necessary for the plot in every racing movie.
It's like, oh, I'm losing. Got to flip this one switch that wasn't there before, but is now. And it'll give you my like overdrive or hyper boost or whatever. And boom, I won the race. Now I'm the best driver ever.
All right, what you got?
I think we could go over that more, to be honest.
Oh, yeah?
Well, yeah, because it's like...
Okay. I guess I'm very surface level right now.
Because it's just like, why is that necessary? Like, I feel like, personally, I like it when the plot includes where like the main hero isn't the winner all the time, like in anything. Like, I like it when they lose because like one of my biggest philosophies personally, I know this is not like in cartoons and everything, but it's like you learn more from losses than you do wins. So it's like, I think that's just so cliche. It's like, oh, I'm losing the race, but it's like the last lap and I got to do something. Got to hit this button. Oh, I'm in overdrive. I won the race. I'm the best racer ever. I like it's like, yeah, I gave it my all, but hey, I didn't win.
Right.
Better luck next time.
Yeah. And I mean, I'm thinking about cars right now. They don't even show, changing gears, but somehow they get an extra boost to win the race at the end of the movie.
Yeah.
I mean, at least he loses in the beginning or whatever, but...
Yeah.
But, that's the same thought that goes into, why, like, anti-heroes are so, relatable. Or, like, I don't know. Have you seen Uncut Gems?
A little bit. Yeah.
Okay, I watched it. Not gonna lie, I didn't like it. But the main character just gets beat up all the time. And, it makes him seem human. Yeah. That's what's, relatable and enjoyable about movies where the hero loses.
Yeah. And like, okay, this is like extending the shower thought a bit. But like, let's imagine that every single cartoon universe is like actually real. Imagine how defeating it is for every other racer knowing that they're going to lose no matter what. Because that other guy is going to pull some stuff that's going to get him to win purely because he's the protagonist in this story.
Right.
It's like, I wouldn't want to do anything. It's like, oh, I tried my best. I think I'm going to be the best racer ever. Nope, this dude's got some technology I've never heard of or seen of before, or it's only talked about in legends. And he pulls it out in the middle of the biggest race of the year as he's losing because me, who might be the main antagonist, trained better, practiced better, did better in the race, but nope, that's not how the plot goes. So yeah, I just think it's so defeating. Even like, I know they're like cartoons and like everything's thought out beforehand, but like if we're supposed to imagine these as like actual places and like there's a bunch of stuff around it, what's the point? If they're just going to pull out something like that, it's like, why?
Right. Yeah.
Speaking of parallel universes, but go ahead. I'll continue this thought after.
No, I was just going to say, I think since movies like Deadpool and, whatever, it feels like we're getting more movies that, portray a more relatable, more realistic story instead of just this... Everything's going all right for the hero.
The cliche hero film,
they're not,
where it's like, oh, they always win. They're the best ever.
Hero's journey.
Yeah. Oh, that brings back memories. High school English class. So one of my English teachers in high school, was this super cool dude who had all these like stories and stuff, and like his big class was like written hero is like the whole class. I remember what the exact name of it is. So like you cover the hero's journey, and like that's a book you read. It's about the like what is the hero's journey and like every single facet of it. And so like we did that. We read all these books. Like we read the story of Crazy Horse and something else, and then we watched movies that are like cliche hero movies, like Casablanca, The Natural, things like that, where it's like, or A River Runs Through It was one of them. That was a different class, actually. Never mind. That's a good movie though. But it was just like going over that. So whenever I hear the hero's journey, it always reminds me of that class. Sorry for my tangent.
No, yeah, the hero's journey reminds me that one of my favorite movies or like series is just some basic stuff.
Which
Lord of the Rings.
Yeah. Yep. I mean, all of them are like that. Like even now with a lot of modern stuff, like Avatar. Like I know we were talking about that last episode, and it's popular now, but it's like that is like just a hero's movie shoved into 3 seasons of a show.
Yeah,
it's like the whole point of the hero's movie is like you got to have some defeats, but they bounce back from it. I want ones where the hero has multiple defeats, and they might not bounce back from it because that's just life, you know.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, the whole Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Yeah.
Every single one.
MCU, Star Wars.
Yeah.
Pretty much any movie where the main protagonist is like someone trying to do something, it's going to be like the hero's journey.
Oh, yeah, right.
So most movies. So do you have anything else on this one before I bounce around?
Nah, get the
All
next
right.
then.
So as we were talking about, when I kind of referenced earlier, parallel universes, one of them on here just kind of caught my eye. It's the Shower Thoughts by Porknelius. What a name. The sharp pain you randomly feel in your organs could be you in a parallel world getting shot. Now, I do like the idea of parallel universes. I don't really care about the logistics behind it. It's just kind of a cool thought I like to have in my head. But that's just mind blowing because it's like it makes sense because like we were talking about in a lot of, I know this is shows and you can't really coincide with stuff like that, but like even twins, like identical twins, like they feel things from each other and things like that. So I think that's just wild that like, oh, maybe you just got like a sharp chest pain real quick. Oh, you just got stabbed in a different universe. What are you going to do about it? You may never know what it was, but it happened. So I think that's just wild to think about.
No, that's wonk, man. That's wonk.
Wonk is a good
I forgot I have to bring that back. I was gonna make that a meme.
Yeah, wonk's fantastic. Great word.
But yeah, this is the definition of a shower thought right here. Like, or prime example.
Oh god, there's some other good ones. Jesus.
Oh, there's a lot of good ones.
All right. So do you have anything else on that? Because I think you should go next because I got a couple that I got lined up.
I got a great one. You know you have a messed up sleep schedule when you see Adult Swim turn back into Cartoon Network.
I love it. I think as a child, I don't remember what shows are on Adult Swim, but I would remember like there was a couple times when I was younger where I would get up at like 2 a.m. or whatever, which is like, I'm usually up till 2 a.m. now, but like as a kid, you'd like get up super early and like no one else is up and you like kind of sneak into the living room and you put on TV and you go to Cartoon Network because like that's your favorite channel. I mean, it was Cartoon Network and Nickelodeon, and like you see Adult Swim and it's all this stuff that like you as like a 4th grader probably shouldn't be watching quite yet. So I think that's great. Like as a kid that only happened a couple times, but now it's like, oh, I might have just stayed up all night because I did see Adult Swim, if that's still a thing, turn back into Cartoon Network. Okay, it is. I haven't watched Cartoon Network in quite some time, because I've been living in college for the past 3 years and haven't really had cable or really had any drive to watch anything on Cartoon Network nowadays.
I just like Rick and Morty, and that's Adult Swim.
Yeah.
So I know. But yeah, that's staying up that late or getting up that early. Well, I guess not getting up that early because it's like 5 a.m. Staying up till like 5 a.m. That's messed up.
Yeah. And especially for me, like every time I was up that early, like that late or early, I guess, when I was younger, like continuously, it's always at sleepovers, and we would never just be watching Cartoon Network at sleepovers. We'd be like playing games. Like I remember, I don't know why this is stuck in my head because it was so long ago, but I remember once we were playing this really old baseball game and my friends played PS3, like right when or PS2, because I don't think the 3 had come out yet.
Okay.
And our whole thing was like we were actively trying to see how little players we could have on the field before the game just like stopped. Like we were talking about getting players thrown out, getting pitchers thrown out. And we did that. And then like another time we were like, oh, that was a fun idea. Let's do that again. But we did it in football to the point where it was literally just the kickers the whole time. Still don't know why that was happening, but it was just the kickers.
That's hard to do.
Yeah. That was one of the ones I was thinking of too. But I think one that kind of caught my eye was this one. It's I think it's Blavita was the person that posted it. If on the off chance that this random person in this Reddit stream that has 20 million people in it is listening to this podcast.
Oh, you're right. I gotta remember.
Yeah. I'm sorry for mispronouncing your name if I did. But it's a bed is a place where you leave your body when you're not using it.
That's scary.
Don't like that? There was since this is an audio format, there was a visible reaction from Richard on that one.
Yeah, that's nope. Yep, that's wonk.
See, I'm just looking at other ones, but like thinking of that, it's just wild because like bearing it down to like the science of it, that's true. Because like you're not actively like nothing is functioning during REM sleep except for like your vital functions.
Yeah.
So it's like you're not actively using your body. Your body is just in a mini cryostasis. I know this is probably not the
cryo, but
whatever. Mini stasis. I know cryostasis is like freezing. I know, and I was about to say that's not really the correct terminology, but whatever. I'm a history major. I'm not science anything. So it's fine. But just thinking of that, it's like, you know what? Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got one here from user stopping all racism.
I was looking at that one.
3.8 billion people are dumber than the average person.
Facts. I mean,
statistics.
It's statistically a fact.
Yeah. I hope I'm not in the 3.8 billion. The lower 3.8 billion.
I definitely might be in the lower 3.8.
I don't know. Well, I don't know, because that's including all children. So
I don't know, man. Some of those kids are pretty smart.
You're right.
But yeah, I mean, it's just like
the U.S. has 350 million.
Yeah. So if we break that down, we might be in the upper echelon of that half, but I don't know about the rest of the world. It's a lot of people to compete against.
Yeah.
So this one is from the user Band-Aid Puppet. Back before allergies were discovered, people would just randomly drop dead for no reason, and nobody knew why. I think that's fascinating. If you think about it, it's like, oh, what's up with Steve?
Oh,
he's like sniffling or whatever. Next day, oh, what happened to Steve? He wasn't at work today, or he wasn't like out in the field today, like farming. Oh, he died. We don't know why or how. He just died.
Okay, yeah, I was thinking it the same way you were, like sniffling, but now I realize it's like peanut allergy, like,
yeah,
you know.
Well, even that, like, it could be peanut allergies, but it also could be like, oh, he's just mildly allergic to dogs. But it's to the point where it's not so mild that it's like me, because I think I have seasonal allergies. I haven't officially gone to a doctor to figure that out yet, but I always get sniffles around springtime and like headaches and stuff. So I'm just assuming. I know it's the wrong thing to do, but it's like, oh, he's super, like, he's not even super allergic. He's just like moderately allergic to this, where it's like in modern medicine now, that wouldn't be a problem. But like in the like dark ages, oh, dude's dead. Nothing we can do about it and don't know why. He's just dead. And I'm assuming like back in the day, there was probably some religious thing that was going on with that. Oh, he was cursed or whatever. He did this. And so there was probably some explanation for that. And that kind of brings up a new idea that I heard on something else I was like watching and listening. It's like, I wonder what the thing is that we have set that is 100% true now. That's just going to be proven totally false in the future. Because that's just like so mind-boggling. Because it's like now it's like, oh yeah, we figured out everything. We know pretty much everything, and like we're working on learning everything else. Like 100 years in the future, like no, they were totally off on that. Because I mean, they believe the Earth was flat for centuries, literal centuries, just because paper, the thing they drew maps on, was flat. And when they went sailing, the Earth didn't look round, so it's got to be flat.
Yeah.
So I just wonder what it is now. I think you're up for one.
All right, I got one by a dude using Reddit. Some countries drive on the left side of the road, others on the right. Some languages are read left to right, others right to left. But no matter where you are, righty is always tighty and left is always loosey. Lefty is always loosey.
I wonder if that is everywhere.
I imagine. Like, screw technology can't be that much different in other places.
I mean, there might be one place, like some country in the middle of nowhere that has minimal contact with the outside world, which I know is unfathomable today with everything. Might have it where there's screws like tighten leftward. Like, what is that? Counterclockwise, right? I always get clockwise. Yeah, counterclockwise. They might just tighten counterclockwise.
Yeah, I guess. I've never been to Europe, so who knows?
So this one kind of hits home.
Oof.
It's because I was in. I'll explain it after I'm done. It's kind of a dumb hits home thing, but this is from Lynn Vater. I'm assuming I butchered that name. Sorry if you are listening. The townsfolk might have liked Belle from Beauty and the Beast more if she hadn't constantly danced around town singing about how boring they all were. Which, I mean, is facts. It's just facts. Yeah. And I said the hits home part because I was in my 8th grade play / musical was Beauty and the Beast. And I was one of the villagers. I was the egg seller. So, I was a jack of all trades in that production. I was an egg seller. I was a fork.
Nice.
I was angry villager number 1 during like the mob scene.
Number 1. There you go.
Yep. And I was the guardian for Belle's dad when he was in the prison for like that first scene in the play. So, I was a jack of all trades.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's right. It's like the ultimate, like it's like it's a musical diss track. Like a diss track in a musical. It's like Belle's just walking around town one day singing about how horrible and boring the rest of the town is. Now she hates it. And they're like, well, yeah, that's why we don't like her, is because she goes around town all day just singing about how boring we are, and we're just trying to survive.
Yeah.
All right, I'll let you find one now.
All right. This this username is a little political, but it's Duck Donald Frump. They wrote, movies need an entire crew just to make sure things look like they happened on the same day.
I mean, yeah. That's got to be so crazy, like a part that we don't really hear about from like movie production.
Yeah.
Because it's like, yep, we got to have people that are checking the weather to see when we can record next so it looks the same. And like that was back in the day. Now we got special effects. Just be like, oh, if it's like a moderately day that's close enough to when we recorded before, we can just like SFX it out.
Yeah, that's true. And I mean, if you look at like bringing it back to The Hobbit, just because I know so much about it, if you look at the behind the scenes stuff they do, there's a lot of stuff where it's just green screen behind them.
Yeah.
Like they're just jumping around and fighting and stuff on a green screen. And that's just, projecting the time of day. But yeah, with all these superhero movies, where they actually use cities and stuff.
Yeah.
You gotta make sure you get the right lighting and all that stuff. And I mean, I guess a lot of that has to do with the editors too.
Yeah. Wasn't Ian McKellen like super upset for filming his Hobbit scenes? Because they just left him in a room in isolation. He's like, this isn't why I joined the theater. I wanted to be around people and acting with them, not sitting in a room by myself in like a green room.
Yeah, it's really sad. He was talking about one of the interviews where he was like, he had to just turn and talk to a ping pong ball.
Yeah.
That they would, shrink in, Martin Freeman or whoever.
That's got to be so defeating for old school actors.
Oh yeah, like he's a
'Cause, like,
stage actor.
actors around our age are like, yeah, green screen's just kind of a thing now, and we got to deal with it. Back then, it's like, no, we're all on set for like 4 months on location, because none of those films were like on location or in Hollywood with all of these shoddily made sets.
Yeah.
Due to the technology and everything, just hanging out together. And it's like, no, now you're going to be by yourself with a crew of like 6 or 7 people, unless it's like a bigger production movie where they're like actually on location. Because I know some places do that now. But it's like for the smaller scenes like that, it's like, no, it's going to be you and a director and a small crew in a room together that's totally green or blue or whatever.
Yeah.
And you're going to be talking to inanimate objects. You're not going to see what the set looks like. You're not going to see who you're talking to. You're just going to do your thing and then be done.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, for Ian McKellen, looking at, Lord of the Rings was 10 years before The Hobbit. 10 years. And Peter Jackson was doing practical effects. So like when Gandalf and Frodo are sitting in the cart riding to Bag End, Elijah Wood's character, or Elijah Wood sat like 5 feet behind Ian McKellen. So he wasn't talking to anybody still, but he wasn't looking at a ping pong ball when he was doing it. We'll be right back. We're back
from our break, y'all. So, do you have anything else on Ian McKellen, Richard, since we got back from our little break?
I just love Ian McKellen.
Yeah. I got another one. This is from Some Stupid Question with 3 N's at the end. Most of the worst criminals are probably not in jail, which is weird to think, but also kind of true, because if you look at most serial killers, they don't get caught after their like first couple times. It takes a while, especially the good ones. And then there's like crime bosses and hitmen and things like that. And it reminded me of something that I saw once, where it's like you walk past in a lifetime roughly 16 murderers, which is weird. And then they like did the math for it. So it's like if you see 10 new people a day for 365 days a year for roughly 71 years of living, that's about 260,000 separate individuals someone might walk by. And 6 murderers per 100,000 people is about 16 murderers, like 15.6 or whatever. So like, that's just weird. The fact that you're going to think about like, yeah, you might just like, oh, that guy over there that you don't know or might never meet again. Yeah, he killed like 2 people. No one knows about it.
That's
scary thought, and also kind of interesting.
Scary thoughts.
Just to think about like how many people you walk past have committed an actual crime, because I know what each individual determines as a crime is different. But like there's some ones that are pretty solidly set for pretty much everybody. Like stealing a lot of something, or like stealing something expensive, with like in certain cases, or like killing someone or something along those lines. It's like, I wonder how many people I've walked past already in my 21 years of living that have done something like that.
Yeah, it's messed up. I got one from 9 Hokage fanboy.
Ninth Hokage.
Hokage fanboy. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know that.
I started watching Naruto. So.
Oh, that's a Naruto reference?
Yeah.
I gotta watch Naruto, I guess.
How far down is that?
It's like 3/4 of the way down.
That one, yeah.
When our generation gets older, there won't be a stereotype of old people not knowing how to use technology.
No, I think there still will be. Because think about it. It's like our grandparents are like, oh, they don't know how to use a record player. They don't know how to work the radio. In the future, it's going to be like, oh, they don't know how to work the like immersive whatever it is thing that you can like sit in the show that you're watching. Or it's like they don't, like, this is a Spy Kids reference. They don't know how to work the food microwave that just turns anything into whatever you want. So I'm willing to bet it'll still be there, because there's always going to be that like, oh, old people don't know how to use the new technology. I think that person is giving us a little too much credit.
Yeah,
if I'm being honest.
I get what you're saying, but I think also with, us being like the digital age, or the digital generation, I think our brains will be more open to learning how to use things. I think once we get to a certain age where we're like, 65 and up, we'll be at the point where, our brains are like closed for learning, and we will become that kind of like stereotype. But I think, like even, half of our parents, half of the people our age have parents that don't know how to use their smartphones and still use like a flip phone.
I'm not saying that we're going to be totally like everybody else, because like there's gradual improvement as with everything when it goes to generations passing on. But I'm just saying like it's definitely still going to be a stereotype, because like with our parents even, it's like, oh, they don't know how to use an 8-track or like a CD player or like a Walkman, where it's like if you took all of that technology, and I know this is kind of a stretch, but if you put it in pre-turn of the century America, no one's going to know what that is. They might even consider it the devil's work in some places. Yeah.
You got one?
Yes. Mayonnaise is bread moisturizer from Stack of Cups. I just wanted to put that out there.
What?
I mean, they're not wrong if you think about it. Like every condiment, like if we're just going off of sandwiches, every condiment is moisturizer. It's the lotion. Because like without it, your sandwich is going to be hella dry.
Yeah, you're right.
Like even if it's like pre-processed meats, pre-packaged meats that's like stored in preservative juices, that's still a moisturizer. That's still adding to the flavor of the sandwich. It's still going to be dry as hell because of the bread, but you got to put condiments on it. Like no good sandwich doesn't have condiments on it.
Here's one by Yom. A countdown on the skip ad button just ensures that you're staring at the screen.
Facts.
That didn't think about it like that, but yeah, definitely. That is some.
It's big advertising getting into your head.
Psychology right there.
I think that's one of my favorite things to come out of the internet, and like just everything. It's like big blank, like big government, big pharma. I start making them up too. Like, it's big advertising coming to get your information, because I think it's just fun. This might be controversial, but I think it's kind of funny. This is from the user Luminarium. Treason is that we have the power to determine what's a crime. You don't like it, that's a crime, and it's treason is the blank that crime. So it's like treason is that we have the power to determine what's a crime. You don't like it, that's a crime. Which I think is interesting, because if you think about it, it is. If you boil it down to like the bare bones of what treason is, now I know there's more nuanced stuff to it, but it's like, oh, you don't like that, you don't want to do that crime, treason. You're against the government. I like this one. Sorry, I know it's your turn to go, but I like this one. This is from Ego Waffle. Great name. Life is a hoax to sell more insurance. You got to think about it. I like that purely for the meme value of it, because I am a big person of time is a social construct and sleep is a social construct.
Sleep is a social construct.
Purely for the meme factor. Because I do believe that you need sleep or else you're going to go insane, because there was a very famous experiment about that, which is not really for the Shower Thoughts podcast, but yeah. So I think that's just very funny to think about. Yeah, it's the Russian sleep experiment. Look it up. It's really messed up.
I don't know. I get scared by scary movies too much to get into conspiracy theories and feel safe.
It's not a movie. This was something that actually happened.
No, I know. That's my point. I don't want to actually look up something that actually happened.
Yep.
That's messed up like that.
Oh, it's very messed up.
Here's one by Rox Rock. Babe is the dude of relationships.
Yep.
That one hits home for me, because I use Babe.
Big Babe guy.
All right, it started out as a joke, and then we just kept using it.
See, I'm not in a relationship, which, I mean, go single life, team single life. But I just personally can't stop thinking of people who say babe, unironically, are like the kind of dudes that like, wear tank tops and stuff and like bro tanks, because I don't want to call them that other name that they have. But it's like, hey, babe, what are you doing? So I don't like it. I think there's other stuff you can use, like their name, for starters.
All right.
I mean, I will use them, but I'm not the biggest fan of pet names.
Yeah.
Unless they like actually mean something to just you two, just the two of you. I don't know why I don't like them. I just have never really liked pet names.
Understandable. I don't really either. But we say babe. We got it from like TV shows where it's like friendly, like over the cupcake relationships, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where they're always around each other. But yeah.
Huh. This one is from the Jeshwaron. I definitely said that name wrong. The age of Earth is 4.543 billion years, and it will be so for our entire lifetime.
Yeah, it's a numbers game.
Yeah, big numbers guy. always the numbers. You know me, big old history education major, always about those numbers. I think we might do like one more and then jump to just the top ones just to see what the most people have upvoted.
Oh, yeah.
So I fully support people being vegetarian or vegan. It's like, it's your choice. Sorry, your choice, whatever. But this one's kind of funny to me personally. If you're not a vegetarian or vegan, your KD ratio is probably really good. As someone who likes first-person shooters, I think that's very funny to me.
Yeah. I got a messed up one.
Okay, go ahead.
From LJB29. As soon as you are born, you begin traveling to the location where you will die.
Yeah. I've heard that before, and it's also like, you are both the oldest and youngest you will ever be at this exact moment. You're both the oldest and youngest. You're both the oldest you have been and the youngest you will ever be at this exact moment.
Right. Oh, this is a podcast, so you can't see me, but I have I'm like that. What's that grimace? Like, is it grimacing? Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Like the grimace emoji?
Yeah.
Yikes. Wonk. That's wonk. Everything is wonk. Everything is wonk. Life is wonk. Wonk is love. Wonk is life.
A lot of these are just kind of sad and a little misogynistic.
It's also
if you go
Reddit.
to top and then all time. Yeah, if you go to the top and then all time.
No.
If elevators haven't, okay, this is from the user Live Ferociously or Live Ferociously, either or. If elevators haven't been invented, all of the CEOs and important people will have their offices on the first floor as a sign of status. I cannot talk. Which, I mean, they're right.
Ooh.
Oh, I love this one. I've seen this one so many times. I'm sorry, but I have to talk about it. The nuclear explosion one with the supermarket pizzas. Have you seen that one?
I see it now.
I've seen it all the time. So the idea is during a nuclear explosion, there's a certain distance of the radius where all the frozen supermarket pizzas are cooked to perfection. Which is amazing. And then I saw something else. It's probably the top comment on here. There was a comment or someone like on the original, like when someone posted it to Twitter or whatever, was like, there's also a certain radius where all the humans are cooked to perfection.
That's Hannibal right there, man.
It is, but it's true.
I got one here.
Good.
Anxiety is like when video game combat music is playing, but you can't find any enemies.
Big facts.
Oh yeah, like when boss music starts playing too.
I mean, it makes sense too, because like at playing video games all the time, especially like single player story missions like that, it's like, oh, I hear all of this very ominous music. I don't see anything. What am I missing? What am I missing? What's going on? What am I missing?
Yeah. Or like a game like The Witcher, where
Yeah.
they don't level things up for you. So like if you wander in the wrong area, you can just get randomly attacked by some werewolf or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Scariest stuff.
Oh, this one's awesome. All right, so this one is from the user Terminal Gay. Interesting name. It would be cool if after you died, you could see the top 5 times you almost died. Kind of like a best of montage.
Oof.
I think that would be so awesome. It's like, oh, you're done. Here's your highlights. Here's your highlight mixtape.
What if we could? What if we, we die and then we get like a Huddle account made for us,
Dude, that'd be
and it just shows
awesome.
us our life highlights.
Our life highlights. Oh, this is where you almost died. I have no memory of that.
Yeah. Oof.
Wow. Do you have any other ones? Because I got a couple.
No. Yeah, you go.
All right.
Do you need to leave?
Yes. My fire alarm got turned on, so peace out.
Be safe. Alrighty then. We'll be back because, yeah, Sam's fire alarm went off.
All right, so we're back. So I'm living on campus, and during the school year, the school like has interns stay in like the townhouses where I'm living. And one of the interns in the little townhouse cluster that I'm in was cooking chicken in their oven. And the oven door like didn't close all the way. So they set off the fire alarm. So that's why you heard all the noise. So yeah, I had to stand outside for like 5 minutes till like campus safety came and like shut off the alarm because like nothing was actually on fire. So yeah. So getting back to the shower thoughts. So have you seen Avatar the movie? Not the really, really bad one about the TV show that we don't talk about.
The one about the blue people?
Yeah. So this one is from Silent Walrus 92. Avatar, the highest grossing film of all time. I still believe it holds that title.
No, it doesn't.
It doesn't anymore? Is it Endgame?
Yeah, I think Endgame.
One of the Avengers?
Yeah.
Or when this was written. Yeah. So Avatar, the former highest grossing movie of all time, which was just beaten out. It seems to have made zero impact on the culture. No one references the movie and no one really talks about it since it was released 10 years ago, which is very fitting because the movie was for being the highest grossing formerly the highest grossing movie of all time. It was
Yeah, I didn't like it that much, honestly.
And I think it's funny that like the kids TV show that was like 3 seasons has had a vastly bigger social impact and cultural impact than this movie, which was heralded to be one of the greatest films of all time and has made the money to make it seem like it's one of the greatest films of all time.
Yeah.
I love this one. I love this one every time I see it anywhere. It's from a 1 Ferrix, and lamps in video games use real electricity.
What? That's a deeper thought.
It's very true.
Yeah. A lot of these are just like revelatory. If that's a word.
Huh. Yeah. I mean, looking at the top ones, like just looking at the ones that are all really voted high. This one's good. Coffee makes you hyper because that's kind of its thing, but coffee shops are designed for people to chill. Whereas alcohol is a depressant, but bars and clubs are designed for people to be more energetic. This is from user Barry Mapia. Okay. Why Barry Mapia? All right. Or you Barry Mapia, whatever.
You
Sorry.
keep saying it. It's just funny.
I want to cover all my bases, okay? I don't want, on the off chance that they're listening, I don't want to get a strongly worded tweet or email or Reddit post about it. So I'm going to cover all my bases, and I probably still got it wrong.
Here's one that relates to us a little bit here. Not to be selfish, but being able to tolerate the sound of your own voice in a video is probably the highest form of self-acceptance.
Yeah, I used to hate my voice. But that
Me
was also
too.
while I was going through puberty, so it kind of makes sense.
Mine is I just like had to get over the fact that it's a nasally voice,
Yeah, me too.
and I didn't really realize it until I heard myself in like a recording and whatever.
Yeah.
I will say I still kind of hate listening to myself sing. I love singing, but I hate listening to myself sing. So
Sorry, this face is not for you, not at you. Just some of these are weird, man. Yo, what? This one is from user deleted J. Thermometers are just speedometers for atoms.
here's one from Pyro925. Pavlov probably thought about feeding his dogs every time someone rang a bell.
Hey, that's probably true. He definitely conditioned himself.
That's hilarious. Imagine that, just like realizing that your own experiment worked on you.
This one's good. And it's always funny when I see things like this. This is from user mbogden00. mbogden0 with 2 zeros. As a kid, teenagers seem so big and scary because in most TV shows, they're actually played by adults in their 20s.
Yeah, like
which is very accurate.
Hannah Montana's brother, who's like 35 during the show.
Jason Earls?
Yeah, it's supposed to be. Yeah, he's supposed to be like 18 or something.
Yeah, Jason Earls. Yeah.
Which
is just very funny. Yeah. Man, some of these are weird, dude. Oh, this one's good. This is from user, definitely a username. Great username. Watching a graduation ceremony is like sitting through a movie that's entirely end credits. It's fantastic.
Yeah. Oh, I gotta fact check this one here, but it says that apparently a lemon is not naturally occurring and is a hybrid developed by crossbreeding a bitter orange and a citron. Life never gave us lemons. We invented them all by ourselves. That's interesting.
Yeah, it's a mandarin pomelo hybrid, which is a citron orange.
Wow.
Yep, a bitter orange or sour orange and a citron.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Citron, by the way, is a large, fragrant citrus fruit with a thick rind.
Yeah.
It's one of the 3 original citrus fruits, from which all other citrus types developed through natural hybrid speciation. Or artificial hybridization.
I think we're both on the same Wikipedia page.
Yeah, we definitely are. Are you good on shower thoughts?
Yeah, this was very fun.
Yes, it was. What a way to spend our time together.
Oh, it was fantastic. I want to do more.
How was your Father's Day, Sam?
It was pretty good. I went home for the weekend, which was nice to see everybody. Saturday, so I stayed up here Friday. We hung out with some friends up here. Drove home Saturday, hung out with friends at home Saturday. And then we went to this brew house in Milwaukee. Like it's a Bavarian beer house or beer garden in Milwaukee that was open, and my dad wanted to go out. So we went there. Really good food, really cool atmosphere. I want to go back like when it's socially acceptable for it to be packed, because I feel like that'd be a very fun time. And then I drove back up at like, I left it there in Milwaukee at like 3:00 and drove back and moved some stuff in.
Oh, okay. Nice. Yeah.
What about you?
Well, we kind of had like a family breakfast. And then my younger sister and I, decided to give my dad a French dinner.
Yeah.
So we made, my younger sister made a French onion soup, and then I cooked up some. Yeah, we are.
Okay. That's why I wanted to type it so you could have just kept going. It's all good.
I'm sorry.
It's all good. Continue though. I asked if we were still recording. That's why he said that.
I'll just cut it.
Just to keep everybody
it's
in
not
the
hard.
Nah, leave it in.
Okay.
We're live.
Okay, we'll do it live. I made a filet mignon.
Ooh.
With pepper cream sauce and mushrooms.
Ooh.
And roasted potatoes and broccoli. And I made a garlic bread.
Nice.
Yeah. I also, for added effect, we printed a menu and I ordered a le toc from Amazon.
A what?
Come on, French guy. Le toc. So, toc. A toc.
I don't know what that is. I didn't really pay attention in French.
Chef's hat.
I didn't really pay attention in French. Mainly because the second half of it was online.
Yeah. So it's like it's really just a big I don't know, like linen hat.
Oh, one of those big ones?
Like from Ratatouille?
Yeah, like the ones that only the head chef wears in like fancy restaurants.
Yeah, exactly.
Fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, take us away.
All right.
Take it away.
This has been the Reddit page shower thoughts with the wonderful boys of Life According to Richard and Sam. I'm Sam.
And I'm Richard.
And I hope to see you next time. Have a good rest of your day.
Yeah. Follow us on all the social meds.
Yeah.
Dogs.
Yeah.
Stay wonk out there.
No, don't be wonk. You don't want to be wonk. Wonk's bad, remember?
No. Wonk is just good and bad.
Wonk is just omnipotent.
Yeah, it's context clues. You got to figure out what wonk is.
Okay. I love it.
How was wonk?
I love words like that.
All right. Catch you next week.